Top professions for happier relationships? Grab your stick, grab your drink. Let's get into this thing right now. What up? What up? What up? It's your boy JB coming right back at you, man. And you know what it is. It's the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast, man. All my information is below. Of course, I'm the real Cigar Jeff. Welcome back to the channel, man. Y'all know the routine. If you hadn't already, make sure you mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn on that bell for notifications, man, because we about to jump right into this thing. What are the top professions for happier relationships? And y'all know before I get into anything, it's the family affair edition of the Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast. Y'all know I got to let her introduce herself, my A1 from day one, and tell y'all what she's sipping on tonight, because we about to get into this thing.
Thanks, JB, for having me back. What's up, everybody out there in YouTube land? Tonight, I'm keeping it simple. I'm sipping on the rocks jalapeno pineapple margarita mix. That's what I'm doing tonight.
Nice.
In my cute and sexy glass, but that's my business.
Oh, stemless martini. Okay, stemless martini glass. Okay.
Yes.
Okay. Mm-hmm. Rhonda's in the building, y'all. You know, I had to bring her back, y'all. We did the top 10. I said the top movies all couples must watch last week. Mm-hmm. So we got a couple more of those coming down the road for y'all. Y'all just stay tuned for other things that couples must do. But tonight we getting into the top professions for happier relationships. Now, before I get started, y'all know I had to get it again. Mm-hmm. I got my Buffalo Trace cigar, got that today. And of course, I'm doing a little something different for the first time on the podcast. I found they had it in Sprouts, Coors Banquet in the stubby bottle. Coors Banquet in the stubby bottle is one of the best beers you ever gonna taste. I got my beer, I got my stick. This is the first time ever in Smoke Something, Drink Something podcast history that I'm drinking a brew.
Oh, okay.
And I'm telling you now, normally I'm drinking bourbon for y'all, but how many more times y'all want me to hand out? How many times y'all want me to show y'all my bullet bottle?
Oh, you still show it?
It is right. Still got to show it. For the haters out there who think I ain't got no liquor.
That's what it is.
Who think I ain't got no liquor. I still got some liquor. I just want to switch it up a little bit. Mm-hmm. Rhonda, when you got the topic, what's the first thing that came to your mind?
Oh, for one, I wasn't expecting this particular topic, but what came to mind was just your typical professions that you think of. And not to say that being a doctor or a lawyer makes your relationship happier, but having money makes your relationship happier. So look at you about to blow up as a YouTuber. We about to get paid. Right? So it just depends. It depends on what's bringing the money. It ain't all about the doctor lawyer stuff no more. You got so many different types of other professions that can make relationships happier. But I do believe money is the center of most things when it determines your happiness in your relationship. And sometimes if you're single, that's your relationship with you.
Mm-hmm. And it's so funny, y'all, that Rhonda's saying that, because guess what, guys? In a relationship, money is key to happiness. Mm-hmm. You ain't got no money. All that other stuff you talking. There's what you can try to put out there on social media. But if you ain't got no money, ain't nothing happy about that relationship. Mm-hmm. Going through the struggle ain't nothing fun about it. Right? Y'all ain't getting closer through it. Y'all hating each other through it. And especially if your relationship came when money was present and now money gone. Okay? Because the key to your relationship is that profession growing. Not losing that profession. And we can talk about, hey, I'm gonna hold you down and things. No, they out. And so the reason why we talked about these professions, I'm glad Rhonda talked about doctor and lawyer, because in our time, that's what it was. Mm-hmm. Go to school, be a doctor, be a lawyer, engineer, accountant, all that kind of stuff, right? That's where you're gonna make the big bucks. And so when I came up with this topic, it was 2 articles that came across, and I said I'm gonna try to
Okay.
share with my audience, because one of the things, Rhonda, if I ask you the professions that you
Mm-hmm.
would come up with before we go
Mm-hmm.
into the articles,
Mm-hmm.
what would 3 or 4 be for you that
So
you
you
wrote? If
so
you
you're
wrote down there,
saying with me saying Dr. Lawyer is my number one and two?
if Dr. Lawyer, I'm giving you credit for those 2.
Oh, oh,
So
oh.
did you write down any other ones?
Well, no, the YouTuber thing, being
Yeah.
a social media influencer, I would
Mm-hmm.
think that would be closer to number one, to be honest,
Mm-hmm.
or number two. I just think doctor and lawyer so easily roll off the tongue. But I also feel like anything anything within the medical or environmental space now, based on what people are doing with
Now,
trying to.
when you say environmental, you mean like solar panels? You mean like what? Get when you say
Well,
environmental,
no, I really wasn't thinking about solar panels.
climate change type stuff.
Well, I think solar panels kind of fall in there, like,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
uh, like how Boeing and Musk, how they're all trying to get outside of
Oh,
the Earth.
okay,
So I don't know if I
okay.
want to call it environmental, but just that race to be the first to get there, because
To space,
that's gonna make a lot of it's gonna make a lot
astronomy
of
type
people
stuff.
some money. Yeah. So kind of environmental, but also like science. I don't know, just
Mm-hmm.
science, but not to dismiss climate change or solar panels and all that kind of, because I think that's big business right now too.
Mm-hmm. And again, guys, that's why I wanted to ask Ron. Like before I did this, guys, full disclosure now, and I've seen the articles that I'm gonna share with y'all. But of course, doctor, of course, lawyer, right? And then one of the things I added was accountant. And then again, I said engineer,
Mm-hmm.
and then I put marketing. You know, a lot of the marketing professionals, they get to do all these events that you get to tag along. If they're part of marketing, those were mine. That's why these 2 articles that I'm going to share with you guys, and then Rhonda and I are going to come back and I shouldn't say come back and discuss it. We're going to discuss it as we go. But this is really the case, guys. Remember, I say all the time in every one of these relationship podcasts we do, people don't fall in love with who you are. They fall in love with what you do. That's why the first question is, what's your name? The second question is, what do they do? And that will determine where that relationship goes. Because if that second answer is not good,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have a shot. Now, and everybody out here making moves on social media, everybody want to live that life. Career career and professions are more important than they've ever been, guys, because it costs money to floss on social media.
Mm-hmm.
It is
It
not
costs money to
cheap
step outside.
to step outside. Absolutely, right?
Yeah.
So if you want to be outside,
Mm-hmm.
you better choose a person with the right profession, male or female. Let's get into this first. I'm gonna get into this first article, guys, real fast, and we're gonna share my screen here, and we're gonna head over here to mensxp.com. Gonna head over here, and guys, this is from 2016, and that's the reason why I'm doing this one first.
Mm-hmm.
This is from 2016. 11 professions that impress women the most, right? Because let's be honest, most of the time, the man, and it's still a traditional, it's not as traditional as it used to be, but 11 professions that impress women the most. I just want to go through this real fast because
Okay.
this one shocked me. This one shocked me, Rhonda, because how far off base we were. While a man should not be judged by his job no more than a
Yes.
woman by her dress, truth is it happens all the damn time. There are certain professions that are glamorous enough to beg you dates, to bag you dates, even if you were just an average Joe otherwise. Can any woman ever resist the charm of a drop dead handsome pilot strutting about in the airport in his crisp white uniform? Now, this doesn't mean you should choose the profession based on how glamorous it is believed to be. Hello, what happened to doing what you love? But just in case your passion lies in some of these professions, here's one of the great reasons to pursue them. Here's one way to have your cake and eat it too. Let's get it. Number one, Ron, I'm gonna just go through these. Photographer.
Okay. Sounds good.
Number
Mm.
one, photographer. Okay. Number two, a chef. Number three, a military man. Number four, the pilot. Number 5, a doctor. Now, I just want to stop right here real fast, right? How does doctor in this is 8 years ago, guys. Doctor is number 5 on the list. On this list, right? How does doctor make
Yeah.
number 5? Well, I just want to
Well,
get your thoughts real
but
fast on that.
no, that's when stuff started shifting, though. That's when things
Mm-hmm.
started shifting.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Everybody want to travel. That's why the pilot moved up the list.
Phone switched up from being just
Yes.
basic. Mm-hmm.
Yes. Number 6, surprise me, entrepreneur. Entrepreneur. We're going to get into this one a little bit later. Number 7, a musician. That basically means, when I hear musician, that means no job, right? Or basically, playing at different, live band events at bars and clubs and that kind of thing. But musician. Number 8, and y'all know I'm in this business. And for all of my staff who listening to this, bartender. And I want y'all to understand something that this thing said. I want y'all to read what this thing said about bartenders. Experts at mixing, bartenders' style and sophistication. They know all the good pickup lines and also the ones that never work, thanks to years of witnessing guys embarrass themselves at bars. And they also have access to the best parties, the best booze, and the best gossip. Get us a bartender already. I had Rhonda, that one got me. Number 9, this goes with what Rhonda said. Codes, hackers, and software engineer. Can you imagine telling a woman you're a hacker and she still stay? But think about these people who work for the CIA, right? And their job is to go and hack stuff. It's crazy stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Number 10, Rhonda, I didn't agree with this one. A writer. And finally, number 11, an actor. An actor. Now, Rhonda, you see those 11. Which one? What do you think about this list? What do you think shouldn't be up there?
Well, I definitely would not have put an actor in there for some reason. I just feel like that's not your regular people, if that makes sense. I would think that one would probably be a little one of the outliers. One of the outliers there. The only reason with military, I think the uniform things like a chef, military man, pilot, like those, I think those would be in there. So I wasn't too surprised about that, just because of it being a uniform and people love the military. But it's good to see a good mix from super super smart to just regular people in here.
And I think what's interesting, guys, let me just go back into this tab real fast. I want y'all to see something. Number 11, no college degree needed. Number 10, no college degree needed. Number 9, no college degree needed. Google has started hiring people who don't have college degrees. Number 8, bartender, no college degree needed.
You can YouTube it.
Number 7, no college degree needed. Number 6, entrepreneur, more than likely dropped out of college. Right?
Yeah.
Number 5, doctor. You've definitely got to have college. Number 4, no college necessary. Most of these guys start out in the military. Number 3, military. A lot of them don't have college, but then they go on to get the military to pay for their college after they get out.
Right.
Number 2, got to go to culinary school a lot of times. And number 1, definitely don't need a college degree for this, guys. And why am I saying this? The photographer is important to me. Why? Social media is what has made a photographer the top profession in this article. Everybody's phone is a camera, basically.
Oh, absolutely.
You buy the phone based on how good the camera is now. So I wanted to go over that and make sure that I wanted to get Rhonda's thoughts on it. And then, guys, that's why I was saying to you that what I'm trying to show you here is we grew up in the industrial age, transitioning into the information age. Half of these professions wouldn't be on the list back in the day, in the 80s. Right. Okay. So Ron, I wanted to bring that up. I wanted to bring that up because one of the things people are struggling with right now, if you're living in a traditional type mindset, you're going to struggle trying to find those traditional professions. I mean, you look at it, the only traditional thing up there really was military, pilot, and doctor. Because all those other professions, you got told by your people, no, you got to get something guaranteed. You got to get something stable. You got to go.
Yeah.
A lot of these jobs are freelance jobs. A lot of these jobs are contractor jobs. And so I just thought that was interesting, Rhonda, when I saw some of these topics. This is what, and that article was what women want, right? That's what women want. So I said, oh my God, this changes the whole dynamic, because how many guys are asking what the woman wants, and then you find out something like this and you realize, like, damn, I didn't go on this traditional route, and very rarely are they going to want anything traditional.
But what I mean, you're not going to ask women what they want. Like, they not going.
Well, you may not ask the woman what you want, but you sitting around thinking. A lot of time people choose.
Of course you're thinking that. But
Every
at the
man.
same time, a trade is so good to have. My stuff is trade. I have my college degree, but what I do now is my trade stuff. So
I agree with you on
I think
that.
you have a whole lot more flexibility. You could become the entrepreneur if that's what you want. You know what I'm saying? And people love that freedom. It ain't for everybody, but people love that freedom of being an entrepreneur. If you can manage your time well, and and if you're not a horrible boss.
Yeah, that's me. I fall into the horrible boss category.
Oh Lord, there you go.
Yeah, y'all see the movie Horrible Bosses. That's me. That's me to a T.
Yeah.
But the reason I say that to you guys, because all my fellas out there, let's be honest. If you're a cat that's about your business, when you go choose your major, you thinking two things when you change your major. You thinking money, you thinking women. That's what you're thinking. Like, we got to admit, that's the reason why I put this in here. Because it's still mostly the guy reaching out to the woman. And that woman is making that decision. And now, guys, back in the 80s and 90s, if you would ask somebody what they did and they said photographer, you would say, okay, what else you do? Right? I ain't ask you what your passion was. I'm looking for your job. Right?
What's your career?
Same thing. Bartender was something you did on the side. It wasn't your career. It wasn't your profession. But now, guys, with all the craft mixology and craft cocktails out there, these guys are mad scientists behind that bar mixing that stuff.
Absolutely.
And Rhonda's drinking a cocktail in a bottle that's made perfectly.
I ain't got time.
It's made perfectly.
Yes, it is.
So the reason I wanted y'all to see that is because, and y'all get down in the comment section, man. If you're a woman out there, which career would you have wanted to see on the list? Okay, it ain't that strong, is it?
I'm sorry. Yeah, I ain't had it in a while.
What career would you want to see on the list? Because that's the reason I shared that with Rhonda, which is what women want. And a lot of guys going to struggle with that because some of those professions are abstract. And men kind of think in black and white lines, and some of those professions are abstract. So
this is like things that women want to do, though. Like these things.
Yes.
These things, it's like you know what I'm saying. They would want. Most women wouldn't mind a nice photo shoot. They like some good food. Like you know.
And I want a pilot. I want a pilot so I can get free flights so I can travel.
Absolutely, yeah. Absolutely.
And I think Rhonda just made a point to y'all that I had it on my notes to get to, but she got to it.
Oh, my bad.
No, she got to it. No, there's not a separation between your job and your house.
Unfortunate.
And I'm glad you said it, because Rhonda just said they're making their decisions on how they're going to tag along with you or how they're going to benefit from your job.
I ain't say that.
But that's basically what it is. That's basically what it is. Y'all got to understand, in the bar business, you see girlfriends and boyfriends sitting on the shift the whole day, hoping they're going to get good drinks and all that kind of stuff.
That's a real
thing. That's a real thing, guys. That's a real thing. Same thing with the guy that's the musician. They're going to be in there. They're going to be in there watching them perform every gig, right? Like, it's just like, okay. Rhonda just made a good point. A lot of the women are making these decisions so they can tag along. They're doing it for social life now instead of security. Everything is about, I'm going to tag along. Your job is no longer separate from your home life. Everything is integrated now. And I'm glad Rhonda brought that up, because that's what drove that list.
Yeah, that,
What does this
yeah.
woman want to do with her lifestyle? And that's who she's going to choose. So
Hmm.
I'm glad you brought that up, Rhonda. You got anything else to add to that?
No, I think for the most part, that's pretty much it. Um, but don't deny the separation. The separation is very important as well,
Mm-hmm.
because I can
Mm-hmm.
understand it, but yeah, you still need your own time and your own
And
thing to do
and
yourself.
that's if
That's the
you
only
get
thing.
with it. If Rhonda made a good point, remember this is the top professions for happier relationships, right? Happier couples. If you getting with a man thinking you gonna
Hmm.
get to be with him, or if you getting with a woman thinking you're gonna get to be with them in their profession all the time, you might be setting yourself up
Yeah.
for disappointment. Let me share this next article. Let me share this next article. And I just want to go over this chart, guys. I'm not going to go over this whole article,
Okay.
but we are over here at educationconnection.com. Now, I had to hit it wrong. I don't know if you can see it, but I can't say the word on YouTube, but the Exiest careers for men and women.
Oh.
Okay? The Exiest careers for men and women. Now, I wanted y'all to see this now. I wanted y'all to see this. In 2016, the dating app Tinder published a list of sexiest careers, for both men and women. A second list was released in 2018. Their methodology was based on swipes, which careers were right swiped the most by men and women. Since then, other reports have come out about careers men and women find most desirable in the opposite sex. These were typically based on actual surveys. We looked at Tinder's two lists and three fairly current surveys to determine which careers were deemed exiest across all of the lists. Here's the deal, guys. Careers men find most desirable in women. Two careers that appeared on all five lists
Okay.
based on common stereotype. A nurse and a teacher. Middle school was specified on two lists. Rhonda, jump in there. Let me know what you think when you hear all these guys talking about a nurse and a teacher.
Get with the nurse. Get with the nurse thing. I'm a little surprised that teachers, especially middle school, they already don't make enough money. Like there's like it's, I don't see. I mean, I guess it could be a rewarding thing,
Mm-hmm.
but no, that mm-mm. which
Well, it's
which it
funny.
should be. It should be that they make way more money than what they do. But I am shocked at this being up there because it just doesn't. Um, it's nothing exy about it.
Well, I think it's funny that Rhonda's saying that because I'm gonna give y'all a different take on it. I think that guys see healthcare profession as somebody who can take care of me when I'm older. Someone who's
Oh, the
going to
nurse
take
part
care
I
of
get. It's the
the
teacher
nurse
part I
part.
don't get.
The
Mm-hmm.
teacher part, the reason why I'm getting the teacher part is I know her day is structured. I know when she's getting home, she's going to be off for the summer. She'll be able to get home and still do the things. If you're into having kids, this is who you want to choose because you want somebody who you hope has a passion for kids because we know some of the things that are happening in these schools right now. But that's the reason
Mm-hmm.
why I think teacher is in there. It's not about money. It's about, do I desire to have a family?
Mm.
And if I desire to have a family, I
Okay.
want this teacher because I know she loves kids, or I know she caters to kids. I know she has a affinity for kids. And the nurse is all about getting old and taking care of me because every man think he gonna get sick. Dude, I was leaving the gym the other day, and the guy was out here giving advice. He told the guy, he said, "Get you somebody who's gonna push your wheelchair when you get old."
That's it. That's
Yeah,
always the case.
get you. And I apologize about that, guys. I apologize about that. Sorry about that. Hopefully, I can get that edited out. But that's what it is, guys, with the nurse and the teacher. But
Mm-hmm.
those are two highly desired based on this. Okay, number number a number of careers appeared on three lists. Several more stereotypes with the flight attendant and secretary, but some men do appreciate brains as well. And what I didn't like about that comment, you assuming that flight attendants and secretaries don't have to use their brains. When realistically, our life is in their hand every time we get
Oh,
into the air.
absolutely. Absolutely.
But look at this, guys: flight attendant, waitress, bartender, lawyer, and secretary. Now, Rhonda, when you see that list, what you thinking?
Ooh. Well, to me, those professions let me know how organized somebody is. That they could manage a whole bunch of things, multitask, and do all of that. Um, but it does come with a certain connotation that there's limitations, but it's so opposite from what they appear to be.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
Mm-hmm.
but I do believe like women, a lot of women are natural organizers, natural like they'll run the ship in the house. Like, they got everything decent and in order, right? Like know which chores the kids have to do and all that kind of stuff. But I could see how flight attendant would be exy because they come up in there looking sharp, just like the pilot does, and it's a uniform. So I
Mm-hmm.
think it's something to having. I think secretaries now can dress very sharply. They could be
Yep.
very well
Yep.
put together. And
Secretaries
don't
don't look like they used to look back in the
No, you
seventies
don't
and
have to
eighties.
be frumpy or
Yeah.
like buttoned up all the way and stuff like that. Now, I
Yes.
ain't saying you got to have your booty out and stuff, but you know, but you could make it. You could find some nice looking pantsuits or what have you, and do what you need to do. So I think they all serve a purpose. But you got some sharp women that do those professions.
Absolutely. And guys, I'm gonna jump in there and tell y'all outside of the lawyer one, I see submission. That's what I see. Flight
Mm,
attendant, waitress, bartender, secretary. All these people do what I ask them to do. All these
mm.
people serve me stuff.
Yeah,
All
when
these
you
people
put it
bring
that
me
way.
stuff. That's what, and again, guys, I ain't trying to come across as chauvinistic, but that's the way I see this list outside of the lawyer, right? The guys who I think chose lawyer are saying, I want to match my salary. I want both of us. I guarantee that was another lawyer
Mm,
because somebody has said, I need to match my salary with another person. I want them to have the same profession as I do. And we probably, hopefully, we get a chance to talk about it. But a person who tries to look for somebody who does the same thing they do. You ever see two
uh,
doctors in the house, two lawyers in the house, two accountants in the house, that type
mm,
thing.
yeah.
But guess what, guys? What about two flight attendants in the house now? Two waiters or waitresses, right? Two bartenders, two secretaries, right? It's possible now. But what I see right outside of the lawyer is submission, and the lawyer is strictly for money and prestige. You tell somebody you're dating a lawyer, you're married to a lawyer, people automatically think you're successful. But what they
Yeah.
don't realize is that the bartender may be making more money than the lawyer.
Yeah. Very comfortable for
Just
sure.
just does different. They just do different work. Let's get down here. Now, I wanted y'all to see this. America's sexiest careers, according to Tinder's most swiped profiles. Now, Rhonda, I want you to understand. You and I talked about in the previous podcast about our
Hmm.
dating apps ruining your dating experience,
Oh yeah.
right? But guys, the reason why I'm doing this Tinder thing is most dates now are happening after people download these apps. So that's why this article meant something to me. A lot of people aren't doing the traditional stuff anymore. They're
Hmm.
using these dating apps. So what this chart is going to lay out, guys, is what men want in women and what women want in men. So let's get to number one. So for men, this is interesting, Rhonda. The man wanted a nurse. Median annual salary in 2022 was $81,000. And they said, why? Aside from all those stereotypes about nurses, they're really pretty cool, caring and nurturing, intelligent, and typically emotionally stable. Right?
Hmm.
And for the woman, she wants a firefighter. This one got me. Median annual salary $51,000. He's sexy. They are whole calendars devoted to the hotness of firefighters. He
Hmm.
saves lives. He's physically fit. He battles fire. That's hot. What do you think, Ronnie, when you see number one?
Listen, being that I just finished watching Fire Country, yes, they are. They are fit. They look nice in them uniforms with a little smut and stuff, like all of that. I get it. But I am surprised about that only because I'm surprised about it from the standpoint that the difference in the salary with both of them,
Mm-hmm.
like what
Mm-hmm.
what women are okay and what men are okay with, because I think men do believe they have to have deep pockets to even have a decent type of woman. But I
Mm-hmm.
also could get a woman choosing a firefighter because they'll save you, they'll protect you, they'll do all those things.
Yes.
um Women need providers, they want providers, they probably prefer providers. So I could see that, but it is interesting that it's specifically firefighter and not and the funny thing too is they're not at home a lot. which is
Well, it's 7
interesting to
days
me.
on, it's 7 days on, 7 days off.
Yeah.
7 days, and you got to
But
stay at
if
the
an
station.
emergency come up, but
But
yeah.
see, Randy, you got to stop thinking you ain't in Gettysburg no more, Dorothy, right?
Lord
Because guess what?
Jesus.
When I saw this, I said, "Fighter, it's volunteer." So, guys, when you come
No, I
from a
didn't see
small,
a volunteer. I watch Fire
we,
Country. Yeah.
but when we come from small towns, this is a volunteer fire department.
Yeah.
So when I saw this first, and Ron, look, y'all don't understand, our town's small. So when a fire happens, they had to ring the alarm for the volunteer fire department guys to get to the station so they can try to fight this fire. So when I saw this and I saw a salary, I'm like, and again, I'm not immersed in it like I should be. I'm like, I knew firefighters were getting paid, but I ain't gonna lie, I'm surprised it was this high. I didn't think firefighters made.
No, I thought that was low.
Yeah, but see, I don't watch that show you watch. But I can tell you one of the things
Well, I
I would
like
stay
Station
away.
19 too. I mean, I watch quite a few.
And I'm gonna tell y'all like this: the reason why nurse wouldn't be first on my list is because they work in multiple hours. They work in multiple hours, and if you ain't a doctor, they always around successful men. Nurse ain't on my list, right?
Mm.
Because they work in a bunch of hours, and they become attached to their doctor, and they serve that doctor. So even though I can see why this is here, at the end of the day, guys, you playing with fire with that nurse. They work a lot of
Mm-hmm.
hours, even if they don't fall for their doctor. They working a lot of hours, 70 to 80 hours a week, guys. So and they on call a lot. So just know what you're getting. She's not gonna have enough energy to take care of you too. So just remember that. Let's get to number two, Ron, to see what you think.
Okay.
Number two, the man wants a teacher, the woman wants a lawyer. Now, Rhonda, this is interesting because I need to see that this is they saying $61,000 for a middle school
I
teacher.
don't believe that.
But I got to figure out
Well, I guess it depends on where.
where you are,
Mm-hmm.
right? Smart is sexy, and she's got to be pretty smart to teach others, right? Smart is that's what the man wants. Now the woman wants the lawyer, 135,000. While Smart was nerdy in high school, is exit when you're an adult. He's also well
Of
spoken and
course.
knows how to influence people, exuding confidence and power, sizzling. Jump in there, Ron. Let me know what you think about that one.
I'm just saying, man, these adjectives are they funny to me. Yeah. Sizzling. Listen, of course, when you find out what someone does, it does take them up a notch, probably on the exi meter with how you want to, like, if you want to get with them or not. I could see that because you don't want somebody that could barely make ends meet or pay their bills. You don't want that. So yeah, I could see that being. Um, I'm shocked over the nurse and the teacher being number one and number two. That's just a little shocking to me.
And I'm gonna tell you guys what you're looking at is people who were raised in a different age, right? You're looking at it, guys, because at the end of the day, what we were taught about relationships and that kind of thing is different. And that's why, Rhonda, I based this on the Tinder. That's why this article spoke to me. I was like,
Hmm.
man, me and Rhonda got to talk about this thing. Me and Rhonda got to talk about this thing. Because immediately lawyer would have been first or doctor would have been first for me in this chart.
Hmm.
And it's
Hmm.
not, but
But
everybody
how we
got
were
put
raised, that was
and how
what
we were
you.
raised. Everybody got tucked in the bed at night and said, you going to be a doctor or lawyer one day. And now you
Hmm.
president or whatever, right? But, you know, it's funny how politician is not on the list so far. So, that's guys, this is interesting. When I saw lawyer and teacher, I'm like, at number two, this is because this shows more of a conservative approach than I would have expected in relationships. Let's get
Hmm.
to number three, guys. Here's a big one. Here's a big one. Flight attendant, Rhonda, for the guy, doctor for the woman,
Hmm.
right? Flight attendants typically have an exciting life traveling from city to city. They need to be patient while dealing with all kinds of people, and patience is a virtue in a relationship. Doctor, median salary $229,000. Doctors are well educated and he can save your life. Well, some doctors can.
Hmm. Yeah,
Rhonda, what you think about number three?
I think this works better because of how hectic their schedules can be. So I think that could be a successful relationship from the standpoint of you would have to be more intentional about spending time with each other because
Mm-hmm.
everybody's on the go, whether that's on
Mm-hmm.
call or may have to travel cross country or internationally or what have you. So I think this would be a good little mix for a
Yeah,
relationship to be successful.
guys, you couldn't pay me to get with a flight attendant once COVID hit. You seeing more things break out on the flight because honestly, once COVID hit, things change. And honestly, if you're a lady and you're looking for a doctor, you realizing now how many of these doctors are dealing with problems themselves, right? And again, guys, it's just the age that we live in. But man, all you got to do is watch a little snap and see, like these doctors are losing it. I mean, and the pressure is just crazy. And I'll tell y'all why I
Mm-hmm.
think that. The reason why I'm saying that about a doctor, guys, is not a person that I'm talking about. The
Mm-hmm.
profession no longer practices medicine. The profession is trying not to get sued.
That's it. It's a
Right? That's
legal
it. So
transaction.
it's a legal transaction now, and they got to practice what the insurance companies say so that they don't lose their license. It's not like it was when the doctor walked in and actually tried to keep you healthy. The doctor's now trying to find sickness. So now you got this person who's dealing with sickness and disease all day instead of dealing with preventative care all day. And the flight attendant is dealing with post COVID. And man, there's so much ruckus happening on flights now. And the flight attendants are just angry. And I'm gonna tell y'all like this, man. I'm gonna change something about this, and I want to get your thought on it.
Yeah.
The flight attendant I want better either be a private jet flight attendant or exclusively in first class. And the doctor doesn't need to be a medical doctor,
Hmm.
right? I
Okay.
wouldn't want a medical doctor because again, malpractice insurance has changed their whole profession. You see that $229,000 number,
Mm-hmm.
but he gonna come home or she gonna come home, and you gonna get dumped on. It is not going to be pleasant dealing with that person. And that flight attendant, you better make sure private jet or either first class dedicated flight attendant.
And who knows?
Because
That
otherwise,
doctor
again,
may have a plane. That doctor may have his own plane.
yeah, the doctor may have his own plane. Rhonda making a point. Don't fly. Don't let them fly it though. Make sure he got his own pilot.
Mm. Well, you would hope so.
Yeah, but
Mm-hmm.
that's guys. When I saw this, I said they need to be more specific. You get somebody off of Spirit now. You getting somebody coming home with Tasmanian Devil for the
Mm.
stuff they putting up with. And I'll be honest with you, we got to start recognizing every doctor they're making
No, they're
$229,000,
not. Not at
and
all.
you better make sure that your doctor is working at a facility that is going to give them a little bit of balance
Mm-hmm.
because it can get out of control. It can get out of control real fast. You got any more to add to that one, Ron?
No, I like that pairing. I like that
Okay.
pairing. Mm-hmm.
Number 4, police officer is what the woman is attracted to at 69,000, and a waitress. The man
Mm.
wants the waitress. And guys, I'm telling you, my female staff gets hit on all the time.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, all the time. Like I said, I don't know how many of them will listen to this, but my female staff get hit on all the time. Median salary 29,000, so they not wanting the waitress for her money. What they're wanting for, look at this waitress. I don't agree with this. They said why waitress equals food, not to be the way to a man's heart. Need we say more? But I think what happens, you
Mm.
like being served. You like somebody catering to you. But you got to understand, guys, when they take that costume off, that's not what you getting at home.
Mm.
What you think about waitress, Ron?
I don't care for the comment at the end either. Um, Look, I like to be served too. I prefer to go to a restaurant that's going to do really nice with the
Uh-huh.
service and stuff. But again, taking it from the male's perspective, like I could see that's what they would want. And I don't know, man. Sometimes you just don't know what people's lives are. And so you see all of these professions that the women are choosing has something to do with providing and protecting and all that type of stuff. So
Security.
I'm not
Yep.
surprised. Yeah. Yeah, women
And
thrive better when they know their stuff is secure, everything is together, bills are paid, house is good, all that kind of stuff.
and
So I'm
guess
not
what, guys?
surprised.
I'm glad Rhonda brought that up because one of the things, what I didn't like about this chart, the waitress brings out food. The waitress don't cook food. right?
Yeah,
So you got to
that's a good
understand
point.
that she's only being a waitress because of the tips. She may not be a waitress because she enjoys hospitality and all that. She might be in college, right? She might be doing a second job.
Mm-hmm.
Be careful that you know that this is very rarely you're gonna find somebody who's a career waitress. Is what I guess I need to say.
Yeah.
Okay, and just know you better know everything else she's dealing with, because a lot of times servers and waitresses or waiters, right? That's what you're gonna find. So as we go into the man side, the woman would want a police officer,
Mm-hmm.
69,000. If ever there was a present day knight in shining armor, a police officer is it. He risks his life on a regular basis and knows how to take care of himself and you. Now I'm gonna tell you this, right? I'm gonna jump in here first. I think
Mm-hmm.
they off with this one. I think police officers are probably the most hated profession out there right now, based on what you see in the news. I mean, they're getting attacked. People don't like them. People hate when they get pulled over. And I'm not saying it's fair, but a police officer probably gonna come home with just as many problems as that doctor that's making 229,000, but he only making 69,000. Jump in there, let me know what you think.
But again, if they having a hard time, if that is the case with that, then of course they would want somebody um that would make much less money than they would.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So I mean, I can see that dynamic because you ain't gonna go home to a woman that's making more than you and complain. What you better mm, find you something else,
But
sir.
I'm gonna tell you like this, Rhonda. A trend is that the man is making less. The woman has that go get it attitude more than women have never had it better to be able to go out and do some things
Mm-hmm.
in this dispensation, compared to any other time in American history. So you got dudes looking for women who make more than them. You got dudes willing to sign up to be the stay at home boyfriend or stay at home husband. And the woman is out there saying, look, I'm gonna go be the police officer. I'm gonna go be the doctor. I'm gonna go be the firefighter. I'm gonna go be
Oh
in that
yeah,
male
that's
dominated field.
yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
But I can tell you
Everything is
like this.
shifting where nothing has to be dominated by one sex or another. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
just that's just the way the world is going. And
Yeah.
yeah, but I do believe that people still traditionally think that when someone is together that the man is probably making more.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said, unless
And
they choose to not.
and I'm gonna say this since you just brought that up. Couples, if your man is not making more, when y'all go in public, get the impression that he is. Because this world is still traditional. This world is still conservative. And if you go out there bragging that you the breadwinner, ain't nothing gonna make him feel smaller. Right? Think about this, guys. Think about this. If a person finds out a woman is not working, girl, I need to know how you did that. If you find out a man is making this, girl, why you with him? You
Yeah,
can do better.
absolutely.
Right? And it's not fair, but that's what it is. And I just think that right now, a lot of people got to understand, when you see waitress and police officer, make sure you do some due diligence, because depending on what is going on in the news, or if one cop shoots somebody in
Mm-hmm.
the wrong, all this stuff ends. Okay. Number 5, Rhonda, I'm telling you, this got me.
Which one
Number
is it? Okay.
5, bartender. The guy wants the female bartender, and the woman wants the
Mm-hmm.
entrepreneur or founder. Now, look, guys, the bartender salary $29,380. I can tell you like this: the majority of bartenders who work for me make way more than that,
Mm-hmm.
right? And look at what it says for salary on the entrepreneur, though.
Yeah.
Because guess what, guys?
Mm-hmm.
The entrepreneur, you don't get a salary; you get what's left.
Yeah.
So, if only going to be an entrepreneur if you want to feed everybody else first,
Mm.
right? Right? Always know that you got to feed everybody else first, and then you get what's left. No other profession starts out in the hole like the entrepreneur. You
Right.
start out in the negative every day. So why is the entrepreneur in this position? Many women find power sexy, and the founder of a company usually wields the lion's share of that power. And guys, I like what they did right here because they didn't put a salary up here. Get with this guy because you like somebody in charge. The money
Basically.
gonna go up and down, but the power not. The power is not. What do you think about Ronda when you hear me say that?
Well, and he'll have some flexibility. They will have some flexibility over
Mm-hmm.
their schedule, right? You could be more spontaneous with things. Um,
Mm-hmm.
you may have time for a little romance, right? Since we talked about romancing earlier,
Mm-hmm.
on a different podcast. Like, I just think you have a whole lot more freedoms to be like, oh, okay, you know what? Yes, we could go play golf today, or we could go, go do pickleball or whatever
Mm-hmm.
today when you're with the founder or the entrepreneur, because they have people that's working for them. Um, and I like a setup like that. But if you as a bartender are fantastic, you're gonna make a killing, way more than
You
that
gonna make a
29
killing.
grand.
You gonna make the
Mm-hmm.
guys, and that's whoever they got this from. I think they should have switched that teacher salary with the bartender salary. Right? That's what I'm
Yes.
telling you.
Yeah.
Right? Why bartenders appealing, right? Bartenders are known for their listening skills. For all of my staff that's listening to this, what do I tell y'all? Listen twice as much as you talk. People often pour their hearts out on that bar stool. Women in these careers also need to be gutsy in order to deal with difficult patrons. Soft yet strong is a great
Mm-hmm.
combination, right? And a lot of people don't realize Mark Cuban said something. If he lost it all today, the first thing he would do is go get a job as a bartender.
Mm. Wow.
And a lot of people don't understand. Whenever I travel, I don't plan anything. I go down, get me a drink, ask the bartender where I should go. The bartender knows everything. What you think, Ron, when you hear about bartender?
No, I mean, I agree with that. The many experiences we've had with bartenders in our shenanigans when we're hanging together, it's always been a great experience. And they're top tier
Yes,
bartenders.
especially when
So,
we were eating with like Lamelo and them.
oh my God, yes, we were okay.
And one of the things you guys are going to find is a lot of people go to the bar because they're stressed. If your bartender does a good job of listening, make sure you don't confuse that with interest. They making that tip. So don't
Absolutely.
think that's what you're going to get when you get home. And a lot of people struggle because, guys, when we leave our houses, we put on this costume. If you've ever been to Disney, okay, if you've ever been to Disney, we don't know the real person in that Mickey Mouse suit, that Pluto suit, that Daffy suit, right?
Mm-hmm.
But don't expect that joy and glee to be there when they get home. And I can tell you like this, guys, the best bartenders are introverts when they're not at the bar. They're
Mm.
doing it because, okay, I got to put on this show to make this money. But I
Yeah.
don't want to do that all the time. So don't think you getting a person, oh my God, you work with alcohol all the time. We gonna party all the time. No. I'm standing on my feet all day, running behind the
Yeah.
bar, and you're sitting in the bar stool. Don't confuse that when we get there.
And sometimes
Okay?
the last thing you want to do is what you do
Mm-hmm.
when you get off. That's the
Mm-hmm.
last thing
And
you may want to
yeah.
do.
And I'll say this, guys, from the entrepreneur part. Y'all got to start understanding how entrepreneurs think. Like, I'm an entrepreneur. I don't go places often. But when I do go places, I'm only going places that allow me to take my cape off and be catered to so that I can get a break. I can let my hair down, all that kind of stuff, right? I don't need you to ask me, do I want another drink? I need you to know, keep them coming until I give you my little hand signal that we want to check.
Mm-hmm.
Because one of the things that people don't realize is just because I'm a forceful entrepreneur when I leave my house, it doesn't mean I'm like that around
Mm-hmm.
everybody,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I think one of the things that a lot of people don't get is when you choose this person because of their profession, just know you may not get that over time as the relationship gets older. You're going to get the exact opposite of what you saw in the profession. You want to add anything to that, Ron?
Well, look, people ain't gonna like that now, right? They not gonna like that because, especially if they met you in that setting, right? If they met you in
Mm-hmm.
that setting, then man, you got to keep that thing. You got to keep that thing going. But No, I totally agree. You know how big I am now with having separation between business and
Yes.
personal. Like,
Mm-hmm.
because it is so huge. I don't want to be somewhere and somebody say, "Oh, what do you do?" And I'm like, "Oh, massage therapist." "Oh, can you?" "No, I can't. My hands broke." "No, I can't."
And we eating,
Yeah.
right?
Yes.
We eat
Yeah. It's what I
that
do,
kind of
not
thing.
who I am. Yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
And a lot of people got to understand that. And then I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna say this, and we'll talk about this a little bit more. The better a person is at these professions, more than likely, the worse they're gonna be at relationships.
No,
And just
absolutely.
know, guys, and just know, a lot of people got to understand that a lot of these professions that we're talking about is what you want to have on your arm when you go out in public. Who gonna fake in front with me? Right? Who gonna fake in
Mhm.
front with me? Because you're not typically gonna get this person at home. One more round of number six. A lawyer. The man wants a lawyer, and the woman wants a pilot. Now, guys, 135,000 for the lawyer. She's a go-getter, smart, organized, well-spoken, and she knows how to handle herself. Just don't expect to ever win any arguments. What do you think,
Mm.
Ron, when you hear that?
Listen. Can
'Cause
you
I
hear
know a
me
lot of
okay?
people that ain't a lawyer. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
I can hear you.
My thing fell out. I didn't know if it muted me by automatically. Um, I don't know, man. It's the little part that they added at the end. They could have kept that.
Making you mad.
No, it's not making me mad. It's just
You
like,
don't
come
need the
on, listen.
commentary. You don't
It's
need the
yeah, come
commentary.
on. Yes. Because man, like women hold their own in their respective professions, right? But at the same time, it doesn't mean that everything has to be um like so gentle or so like you gotta like so fragile. That's the word I want to use.
Mm-hmm.
But ooh, these two together, I don't know. I don't know how I feel about these two together.
Mm-hmm.
Only because that's two very strong personalities. Period. I feel like you gotta have some type of
Well, just run it. You can kind of look at it like this: that this is just a ranking, not necessarily who they're
putting
trying
them
to match
together.
make.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
feel yeah.
this is just a ranking in number six.
I don't know. I just feel like to see Pilot pop up in the other one and pop up here, I am surprised. I'm surprised because I just won't thinking about it from that standpoint. I won't thinking about it from that
But
standpoint.
it's so funny you say that. And guys, y'all see it says $148,000, right? Pilots have the rare chance to see all corners of the world, and hey, he has 200 plus people's lives in his hands. That's why I said earlier, guys, look at a private jet pilot, right? Don't necessarily look at just a commercial pilot who's shuttling people around all day like that.
Mm-hmm.
There's different pilots depending on different situations. And yeah, honestly, my biggest thing is I think you're playing with fire when you get with these two. I think you're playing with fire, just like with the flight attendant. I think you're playing with fire when you get with these two. It sounds good, but these guys are not going to want to deal with you. They're redlining their high pressure careers all day long. Just know that they're not going to be like that, or they probably going to be very agitated when they get home. You're going to probably have to give them an hour to decompress
Mm-hmm.
when they get home, right? Growing up, and we stayed at our grandmother's house, when our grandfather got home, he couldn't walk in indoors. Why? Because after he finished being cleaning up the plant all day, he ain't got time to hear some kids screaming. And you didn't talk to him until he talked to you first.
Mm.
And I think the more when y'all see these numbers go up, just know when they get home, they gonna need a decompression period. What do you think, Rhonda, when you hear me say that?
Oh, I'm always here for some downtime. Yeah, these high powered professions, they they require whoever you do choose as your mate or your spouse. They require some of these high powered ones require you to have some self esteem about yourself,
Mm-hmm.
to have a life outside of them because of how much they have to put in, how much brain power
Yes.
they have to put in, maybe even how much physical power they have to put in. So,
Yes.
but no one should date somebody who don't have any self esteem about themselves. You shouldn't be
Agreed.
dating somebody if you don't have. Don't care how much money you make
And
or what you're looking for, but especially those because it does take special people to be able to take high powered professions by their spouses because that means they're going to be around certain men and women that you know
Mm-hmm.
that may be in their
Mm-hmm.
league but not in your league, and you got to be strong enough to know like, hey, well, I'm in this for the long haul. But if you can't move in those circles, then you probably don't need somebody that's high
Absolutely,
powered like
guys.
that.
If you not bettering yourself, and if you ain't got no self esteem, because these people get options. These people getting hit on all the time. If you insecure and all that, just go ahead. Look, you don't need to be looking for these careers because those people are in high demand, which means they have options. They don't want to come home and deal with somebody who don't understand that they have options. Rhonda, what's your final thought? What's your closing thought for tonight after seeing all this?
This was a cool subject to talk about. It was very surprising with some of the professions that they did put up. I like that it wasn't traditional. Still was surprised that social media influencer and all that type of stuff wasn't in there on these
Mm-hmm.
particular articles. Not to say that they're not on some other ones, but um, I think people really ought to consider, like, hey, if money is important to you, then you better choose somebody that's making money. But then you also gonna find out money don't make you happy. It just give you options to be happy,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
right? So
Okay.
you could chase the thing, but it may not always work out. It may not always be what you expect if you got somebody that's in a high powered position and you kind of want to cheat. That ain't gonna
And
work.
and, and and I'm glad Rhonda said that because my closing thought is pretty simple. Just know, guys, these professions are for the public persona. This is not what you're gonna get behind the scenes. Nobody is.
That's good.
This person is not going to be that person behind it. This is somebody I want to be public with, and I want to make sure everybody kind of understand this. This is somebody you want to be public with. Privately, those little things they put in the description, that ain't what you gonna see at home. They gonna come in and take that cape off at home, and I don't know what you gonna get, but just know this is somebody you got to be able to walk hand in hand with publicly and in social settings. So make sure that you doing your part too. The more your partner is making, the more on top of your game you got to be. The less they making, you don't have to be. So that's the take that I want everybody to understand. Just know this is the Clark, this is the Superman that we talking about. But at home, that's your Clark Kent. That's your real relationship is the Clark Kent one.
Yeah.
Not this one that we talked about, man. And y'all know what it is. It's to smoke something, drink something, podcast. Y'all know the routine. If you hadn't already, man, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell for notifications, man. Get down in the comment section. Y'all tell us y'all professions, man, and what y'all think about this topic. Is Jeff and Rhonda crazy or we on to something? Y'all let us know what y'all think about this down in the comments, man. All of a sudden, man, we getting on this thing. Get the merch. Support the channel, Rhonda. Let them know where they can find you on the socials.
On Instagram at RMBLMBT.
And all of my social media stuff down in the description, man. Again, get down in the comment section. Y'all know it really helps YouTube push our videos out. All that we can do, man, to get these out, because we know people are dealing with this stuff, man. Again, mash that like button, hit that subscribe button, turn that bell for notifications. And until next time, we gon' holler.